Hi guys, many of you may have seen my recent interview with Patrick Reid from Adamis Principal. Today, I want to get Patrick back on the channel, and Patrick hope be a regular contributor to the channel to discuss all things trading. What we're going to be looking at is topical items that are going on that we think are relevant and people might find interesting. So today we're going to be looking at prop desks and how they're funded, etc. Prior to that, before we start on that, Patrick, I believe you're on the BBC recently.
Hi, Chris. Yes, I was. Talking on BBC One in very early. I had to wake up, but also for BBC World News, talking about the Russian default, imminent Russian default.
Okay, so that's a subject for another time. Yeah, we know there's some strange things going on with the ruble and it's being held up. So yeah, we will discuss that under another heading. But yeah, great to see that you're on mainstream TV. So today we want to talk about prop desks, and I wanted to get your impression of the craze of funding prop desks, and how that's changed over time, and what your experience talking to the traders that you're working with on that.
It's just a phenomenal craze that has swept across the globe, and for me, there's good and bad and everything, but the problems for me are glaring, and I hope it won't change regulation. I hope it won't change things, because fundamentally the democratizing of funding is a good thing. If
Yeah.
it enables people, traders who may not have, know someone in a prop desk, or may not have the money, can trade without risk to their capital because it's somebody else's capital. The problem I have, Chris, is that we're getting this idea that you get a prop desk, it gives you this competition. If you pass the competition, you'll get an awful amount of a lot of money to trade with. So the two problems I have is often, well, some of these prop desks set you up to fail, because they'll give you a target, and if you're inexperienced, they'll give you a target that is frankly unachievable. It ranges from 8% to 15%. Let's call it 10% for many of them. And you have to do that in 1 month. That really encourages reckless clip size and reckless risk management, because what we're finding, certainly from people that are coming to me, with a tail between their legs, so to speak, with their P&L, they're saying, look, what they've done is they've done it. And these competitions last, they cost around £700-800, sometimes more, sometimes less. They're doing a few of them. If you do them 3 or 4 times, it's quite a lot of money. So they're coming and they're saying, look, we went all in on long gold just before non-farm payroll, or something like that. And I'm thinking, that's gambling. That's not trading.
Yeah.
And the second bit to this, Chris, is that I've just, started to work with some people, and basically there is the problem where if you do pass the competition, you get given, a large amount of capital, but you don't have the experience. What do you do with it? So you're whittling away your margin that they give you, and you're missing out on a really good chance. So I would say, those two things are really irksome, and they're really, really challenging, and really pose a massive problem for the industry.
Yeah, interesting. And what are the dangers, if any, of what you've seen?
Well, it could encourage, people who are going to believe that it's easy. It's encouraging gamblers hand over fist who aren't traders, and it encourages people just to overspend on competitions, fail and fail again, thinking that the next time it's going to be great. And you may get into a situation where you'll enter one competition. You may have a capital of, say, a small amount, say 5,000, 10,000, whatever. You may think, okay, I want to trade 100,000. I'll do a competition. I'll do it again, and then you'll do it 3, 4 times, and you've basically done your capital. So it's like, well, you're in a such much worse position than if you had just traded your own capital, small size, and got some skin in the game, and built up your track record, got consistent, got yourself a mentor or whatever it is. But now you really are in a worse situation. And the other thing, you may have put it on your credit card, which is even worse. Never borrow money to trade, and never borrow money to have a trading account.
So it seems to me like sort of the gaming industry and the gambling industry and the trading industries have historically always sort of worked in parallel. They've been treated as quite separate industries, but we're seeing more gamification now of trading. And at what point does this become gaming? What point does it become gambling? Or are you comfortable that this is trading, or is it too close to the other two?
It's very blurred, right? Even blurred for me, right?
Yeah.
What I will say is, you had copy trading, you had the mem stock craze, you had the Wall Street.
But I get the copy trading was quite different though, wasn't it? Because I mean, it's a sort of the social trading aspect. If you find someone who looks like a good trader and you copy them because they know what they're doing, it's quite different from trying to have competitions in this sort of way that then gamify it.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is the similarity between copy trading and all the other stuff is it provides a so-called easy shortcut to trading, and it's not right. That trading is not easy, right? So yes, it's a different kind of mechanics, but essentially you want to piggyback off somebody who is got alchemy, right? You want to not do your own research and copy somebody else, and that's essentially, you can put on fancy words and all this stuff, but essentially you're on a ride, and the moment they don't perform, you're like, well, who can I blame? It's like that, and that's essentially it. You've got to do your own research, do your own work, and that's.
There's some very big brokers who've made a massive business out of copy trading and social trading.
Yeah, I mean, there's the other kind of second cousin to that is signals. I mean, the bizarre thing, there are some, not so much now, but a few years ago, and there still are, there's some signal providers that still make lots of money. So I would question, look, if they're making so much money, why don't they just, are they giving out those signals from the bottom of their heart? Well, no, because they don't work. It's that simple. And you could argue that, I've got nothing against copy trading, but it's lazy. As a trader, you've got to put your arms around it and be accountable, because then you can't blame the market. You can't blame someone you're copying. You can't blame a Reddit forum. You can't blame, mem stocks, and all this stuff. And the same way, which kind of brings me on to the final sort of point without wanting to preempt, is this idea that, what can you do to stop falling into this trap, and who should take responsibility? Well, it's you. It's the trader. If I choose my risk, I choose my stop, I choose my clip size. I'm not, sometimes I'll punch the keyboard, and I have ruined a lot of keyboards, especially trading futures in my time, granted. But essentially, and I'll blame the market, but not really. It is my fault because I pulled the trigger, right? So I'm the captain of my risk. I've got no excuses for that. And I would just say that, if you are a trader and you're thinking of doing one of these competitions, then just do your research. Try and give yourself enough time to hit that target, and set yourself goals. Set yourself, limits on the amount of times you do that competition as well, and just really take time to do that. And if you're okay with that, great, go fill your boots.
Yeah, so keep disciplined is what you're saying in what you do. Don't go, oh, this is a a golden opportunity and go wild with it.
Exactly.
And do you think that regulation will play a role in this going forward? I mean, we saw it with the binary options industry. Do you think regulation, if it carries on in the way it is, there's going to be lots of complaints, and then regulators are going to have to step in and go, we either outlaw this or regulate it in a different way?
I think if it gets worse and people start, committing suicide and going, losing the house and doing all this stuff, then I mean, there will be a clampdown. I think it will be a shame because it basically blames, puts the baddies, who are the scapegoats. It deflects from the real problem, and that's the trader. That's the problem. So I feel that yes, if it continues and we do get some deaths or some awful stories of people getting absolutely clean out, then I mean that's inevitable. But that's not going to solve the problem, because there's always something new that gets derived out of this, and it will be the next kind of holy grail, so to speak, which is wrong.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your call today. I think very interesting subject. I would say we are going to try and regularly do these chats, because Patrick's background is very much on the trading side, mine's very much on the technology side. So I do find this a very interesting conversation. We will try and pick topical items to discuss. If any viewers have got any ideas about subjects they'd like to hear about, then by all means contact either Patrick or myself, and we're more than happy to cover that. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
Cheers.